Hi children, good morning everybody. I hope that you are all doing well. And this year that you have been promoted to high school, that to 8th standard now. Yes. I hope all of you are enjoying the bridge course classes in the television, in DD1 and in other YouTube and in other channels that you may have enjoying or experiencing the classroom experiences and learning the different things sitting in your home. We hope that the class may start soon, but before the class starts, children, we should not stop learning. Am I right? Yes. So, up to second standard that you have learned English as a second language. Am I right, my dear friends? In the same way, in 8th standard also, that you are learning English as a second language. Got it? And before going to start the classes, let us briefly understand what is there in English textbook in 8th standard. As I wrote, my dear children, it has prose, poetry, supplementary reading, grammar, reading, writing and vocabulary sections in this year. So that we have 8 proses and 8 poems, 4 supplementary reading and grammar, reading and writing area are there in the 8th standard. We have 8 lessons and 8 poems, 4 supplementary reading. Okay. Along with that we have vocabulary activities and reading area, writing area and grammar too. The department has said that they are going to reduce the syllabus little bit this year because of the corona effect. But we are not sure about the reduction of the syllabus, my dear friends. So, let us learn everything which is included in the textbook. If they omit, no problem. We will leave those chapters in future. And moreover, before going to start today's class, I would like to share a story with you, my dear friends. Today, I begin the class with a prose section. Before going to start my today's class, I will narrate a story. Do you want to listen? Are you interested to listen to a story, my dear friends? Okay, then let's go. See, my dear friends, there was a man called Sangappa, and he was a farmer. He wanted to admit his son to the nearby school, which was different in education. He took his son and admitted his son to that school, and his son was learning in that school, my dear friends. And it has a different style of education, and it looks like an ashram, my dear children. After some days, Sangappa went to the school to see whether his child is learning in a proper way or not. Sangappa entered the gate of that school and he opened the gate. As soon as he entered the school gate, he was surprised. Why? Why he was surprised? because he had seen the students are playing in the ground. Some students are playing in the ground. Some students are sitting on the trees. Some students are drawing. Some students are by hearting or memorizing the lessons. Some students are writing the question answers. Some students are doing some carpentry work. Some students are playing with a guitar or musical instruments. So Sangappa was puzzled and he searched for his child friends. He was looking for his son. He could not see his son for a while. And after a few minutes, he saw his son was sitting on the tree, looking at the bird and making the painting or drawing the picture of that bird. Sangappa was very much disappointed, my friends. And he directly went to the chamber of the principal, headmaster, and he complained to the headmaster, "Sir, I don't like the way that you are teaching to my child. He is not learning, sir. He is sitting on a tree and doing some nonsense. No, I don't like the way that you are giving the education for these kids." Like this, that he complained to the principal. The principal was laughed and feel sorry for the education system which was going around us. He said, "Sir, Mr. Sangappa, I am not feeling sorry for the way that your child is learning. I am sorry for those kids who are memorizing the question answers or who are by hearting the lessons. Education should be lively. It should be learned by doing the activity. Your child is not time passing. He is observing the song of the bird and he is getting life experience of that bird, Sangappa. So don't feel sorry for the way that your child is learning. Don't feel sorry for the children who are learning the carpentry. Don't feel sorry for the children who are playing with the guitar. They are learning the things. We should stop learning by doing by hearting or memorizing, Sangappa. The learning by experience will help a lot. It gives a life experience. That is why don't feel sorry for your child's learning. Learning should take place by heart. And it should help in our future life also. That's what we are giving in our school, Sangappa. Sangappa revealed at the end. Correct, my friends? Yes. Why was Sangappa upset? In the story that we had seen, Sangappa was very upset man. Why he was upset? Yes, he was upset because his child was sitting on the tree. Very good. What did the headmaster suggest to Sangappa, or what did headmaster say about the education or learning to Sangappa, my dear children? You are right. He said learning means, not by hearting, it means learning by the lively experience. Am I right? Do you want to join this type of school, my dear children? Very good. You want to join? Nice. Have you seen these type of schools in your surroundings? No. If you have this type of school atmosphere, how do you feel, my dear children? You feel happy now? We can choose our interesting field now. You are right. The same type of school was there at the Shantiniketan, and that school had a different style of education system, my dear friends, which was established by Rabindranath Tagore at Kolkata. So many people have learned there, have visited there, and experienced their life experience in that school. It was one of the extraordinary schools maintained by the Rabindranath Tagore at their mediation. The atmosphere, the learning experiences, learning activities, and all the experiences are really worth recording, my dear children. That is why that present story, the experiences of that school called Shantiniketan, was prescribed as a first lesson in your textbook in this year, my dear children. And let us learn the first lesson called A Day in the Ashram. Still with that? Yes, all of you open your textbook, my dear children. Yes, children. A Day in the Ashram. In this story that we are going to study about the life experience of the author called C.F. Andrews. Let us know about the C.F. Andrews, my dear children. C.F. Andrews, Charles Freer Andrews, 1871 to 1940. He was born an English priest of the Church of England. He was an educator and Indian freedom fighter. Keep in your mind, my dear friends. Though he was born in England, he fought for the freedom of India. And also, he was an educationist. And one more thing, children, he became Mahatma Gandhi's closest friend and associate. Got it, my dear friends? The full name of C.F. Andrews is Charles Freer Andrews. Basically, he was from England. Though he was born in England, he fought for the Indian freedom, children. And he was a priest also. Priest in the sense that we could see the father in church now. Okay, those people are called the priest, my dear friends. Andrews reveals his experience while he stayed in the ashram. In this story, his life experience, his real experiences have been narrated, my dear friends. Keep in your mind, C.F. Andrews is an educationist and he was a Indian freedom fighter. He fought for the Indian freedom, and moreover, he is a very close friend of Mahatma Gandhi, and he was a kind human being. Okay. In this present story, he is going to explain all his real experiences, what he had experienced when he was staying in the ashram. Shantiniketan was founded by Rabindranath Tagore. It is a school with a difference, where students learn with a great joy. See, children, in this picture that you can see the C.F. Andrews, and once that he was stayed in the Shantiniketan ashram, when he stayed there, he experienced so many things in that ashram, children. Those experiences have taken the form of the text, and those experiences are narrated here and we are going to study about those experiences. Shall we learn? Shall we learn, children? Yes. Before going to start, children, who is the author of this lesson? Yes, you are right. C.F. Andrews. Am I right? What he is going to explain, or what type of experiences that he is going to explain in this he is going to explain in this story? He is going to explain the experiences that he had experienced at Shantiniketan. Got it, my dear friends? What is Shantiniketan? It is an ashram founded by Rabindranath Tagore. Got it, my dear friends? Yes. Shall we start? Okay. See, in this picture that you can see Rabindranath Tagore sitting around the students and sharing his experience with the people who are there in the ashram. Words cannot picture to you the beauty of Shantiniketan. Our own poet and teacher, whom we call Gurudeva, has named it in his song, the darling of our hearts. And it is worthy of the name. All who have visited the ashram, old and young alike, have felt its inner beauty growing more and more upon them. See, my dear children. See, look at the picture here. And this is the real picture of Shantiniketan, my dear friends. So, we can enjoy or we can see the real photocopies of the Shantiniketan. Look at the picture and how beautifully the building is looking. Am I right? See, in the first paragraph, the author is describing and he is saying, children, words cannot picture to you the beauty of the Shantiniketan. There are no words to describe the beauty. Such a beautiful ashram is there. To explain or to share some experiences, we fail to get the words, children. We fail to get the words. And some of the things are more beautiful than the words. The words cannot explain the real beauty of some experiences, children. That is why the C.F. Andrews is saying, children, there are no words to describe the beauty of the Shantiniketan. Such an extraordinary, beautiful thing is the Shantiniketan. Got it? And he says, our own poet, the teacher, whom we call Gurudeva, has named it in his song, the darling of our heart. See, my dear children. Who is Gurudeva here? The word Gurudeva refers to Rabindranath Tagore. See, children, here? The word Gurudeva is there now. This particular word is referring to, yes, Rabindranath Tagore, who established the Shantiniketan. Got it, my dear friends? What did Gurudeva say? Or what did he call the Shantiniketan, my dear children? Very good. He says, okay, it is a darling of our art. See, look at here, the Rabindranath Tagore, okay, he established the Shantiniketan, and he says, by experiencing, by looking at the beauty of that Shantiniketan, he gave a name, another name to that spot called, it's a darling of our hearts. In one of his songs, we know that Rabindranath Tagore is a great poet, a great novelist, a great dramatist, of Bengali, and also he wrote so many poems in English too. Am I right? So one of his songs, he described the beauty of Shantiniketan, and he called Shantiniketan as the darling of our heart. One of the favorite. Okay, he says it is the favorite spot. It is one of the favorite spot that what he has explained or what he has described. And it is worthy of the name. What Gurudeva, what Rabindranath Tagore has named the ashram as a darling of art or Shantiniketan, it is worth. Because all who have visited the ashram, old and young alike, have felt its inner beauty growing more and more upon them. See, irrespective of age, irrespective of gender, every people who have visited the Shantiniketan have enjoyed the beauty and the greatness of Shantiniketan, my dear friends. Such a beautiful and extraordinary ashram that Shantiniketan is. Have you understood, my dear friends? So in this paragraph, they may ask, who founded the Shantiniketan? You are right, Gurudeva or Rabindranath Tagore. Got it? What did Gurudeva call or say Shantiniketan as in one of his songs? The darling of the hearts. Got it? It's our darling of our hearts. Why does the author says words cannot picture to you the beauty of Shantiniketan? What does the line mean? It means we cannot describe the beauty of the Shantiniketan in words. It is beyond our description, beyond our words description. Got it, my dear friends? Are you getting? Okay. In this paragraph, they may ask these questions, my dear children. Have you understood the first paragraph? Shall we move on to the next one? Shall we move on to the next paragraph? Okay. Yes. I hope that you have you had seen the picture of the Shantiniketan. Got it? If I were to describe to you one day, in the ashram with boys, that would perhaps best bring home to its inner beauty. Long before sunrise, like the birds in our own albuquerque groves, our boys awake. The choristers are the first to rise, and they go round the ashram, singing their morning hymn. You can hear the voices in the distance, drawing nearer and nearer, and then the sound dies away. As the choir passes on to another part of the ashram, and then again it comes nearer and nearer. The beauty of the sound in the silent morning air and the sense of joy and reverence which it brings give peace to the soul. In the second paragraph, the poet is describing the inner beauty of the ashram. Inner beauty, what is that? Exterior and interior. Exterior beauty that we had seen in the first slide. See here, this is the exterior beauty. Exterior in the sense the outlook. okay, how it seems to us if we look at the building or if we look at the area. And everything has its inner beauty also. See, for example, you are looking at me now. How I looks to you, this is my exterior look. How I am, how is my mindset, how I think, how is my feelings, how are my emotions. These are all my interior or internal beauties. In the same way, children, in this paragraph, the author has described the exterior beauty or the outlook of the Shantiniketan, and in this paragraph, that is describing the internal activities or interior beauty of the Shantiniketan. See, it means what are the things takes place in the ashram. The author is explaining or describing what things are going to take place inside the ashram. That he stayed in the ashram some days and he experienced some of the things there. And he come to know some people rise, some people awake early in the morning. Who are the early risers in the ashram? Very good. There is a particular word, children. Okay, they are called, very good, the choristers. Am I right, children? Whom do we call choristers? Who are choristers? Choristers are the early risers. Am I right, children? Yes. Choristers means the members who sing in the choir of the church are in ashram. The people who are in the singing group. Am I right? Yes. Who are the early risers? The choristers. What do the choristers are doing, children? What did they do as rising, waking up very early in that ashram? Yes. They were singing the early morning song. They go around the ashram. They are going around the ashram and singing their morning song. Am I right? See, look at the lines here. You might have observed they go around the ashram singing the morning hymn. There is a word hymn, children. What do you mean by hymn? Hymn in the sense, very good, a song to praise the God. In the morning, if you hear a melodious prayer in the morning, we feel little calm and little revealed. Am I right? That is why in temples and in the church they do prayer, children. We know, we also while worshipping the God in our home also, that we chant some mantras, So the reason behind chanting mantras is to maintain the peace, is to get the peace of mind, my dear children. In temple and all that we see some bells now. If we beat the bell, it creates some sound. That sound gives us mental peace for a while, children. So here the author is also experiencing the same thing. He was not woke up till now. He is still in the bed. He heard the morning hymn of the choristers. Choristers in the sense, a group of people who were singing the morning prayer in the ashram. He was he found a little you felt little happy. You felt happy to listen that morning hymn. And keep in your mind, my dear children. They rise early in the morning before the sunrise. See, sunrise, very good. Before the sunrise, early in the morning. Opposite of sunrise, sunset. Very good. Before the sunrise, they used to got up like the birds in our almond grows. See, my dear friends, like the birds. Usually, the birds start crying before the sunrise. That you might have experienced these type of things in your life. When you wake up, when you get up in the morning, that you can listen. Some birds will start crying before the sunrise. Before the birds, these choristers are getting up and they are singing the morning hymn and going there, and they are going around the ashram singing their morning song. You can hear the voice in a distance drawing nearer and nearer, and then the sound dies away as the choir passes on to another part of the ashram, and then again it comes nearer and nearer. They used to go around the ashram children. The choristers, they used to go around the ashram singing their song now. Whenever they comes nearer to the room of this author, he heard the voice or he heard the song so clearly. When it goes little distance, when it goes a little far, the voice was heard little slowly. So like that. And that sound, the beauty of the sound in the silent morning air, and the sense of joy and reverence which it brings, give the peace to the soul. In a calm and peaceful atmosphere, if we listen some melodious prayer, we feel little comfortable and we feel little fresh children. Fresh. Got it? We feel little fresh in the sense our mind will be fresh. See, in the first slide, in the first paragraph that we had seen, the exterior beauty of the Shantiniketan. In this paragraph, that we see the internal beauty, interior beauty, okay, of the Shantiniketan. Got it, my dear friends? Yes. Shall we move on to the next one? Have you understood? Okay, they may ask, okay, in this paragraph, who are the early risers? Very good, choristers. What did the chorister do? They get up early in the morning and they go around the ashram singing the morning hymn or the morning prayer. Got it? Have you understood? Okay. Shall we move on to the next paragraph, my dear children? Yes. After an interval, each boy takes his asana, is a square of carpet. Sorry. After an interval, each boy takes his asana, is a square of carpet, into the field, and it sits down on it to meditate in his own place alone. Later on, before the schoolwork begins, the boys all stand together in the shade of the tree and sing their hymn. See how do the day begins in the ashram. They wake up early in the morning. They go around by singing the morning prayer. After doing the prayer, what do they do, children? Yes. In this picture that you can understand what these kids are doing, children. What these children are doing here. Very good. They are doing yogasana. Am I right? Do you know yoga? Have you practiced yoga, children? Very good. We do some Surya Namaskar, Got it? And we do some different asanas, Very good. You might have taught in your schools also. Yoga is an essential part to our life today, my dear children. Got it? How we eat the food, in the same way we have to practice yoga nowadays. To get good health, we have to do the yoga also. See, the children of the Shantiniketan, after the prayer, they are doing yogasana. And yogasana was compulsory, their children. They were, they took their square of the mat, isn't it? Square mat in the sense, their own mat, they are maintaining their own mat. They spread their mat on the ground, and they are doing some exercises, yogic exercises, children. After an interval, in the sense, after the prayer, there was a little bit of, there was an interval of 10, 15 or 30 minutes, and then they started to do yoga in the square of the carpet. The two in the fields, they have an open air. They were doing yoga in the open air, children. They were getting fresh air. Wow, what a beautiful atmosphere the children or the people are getting in the Shantiniketan, children. And after doing some asanas, they sit down to meditate in his own place alone. After doing some exercise, they are doing the meditation. Meditation in the sense? Very good. In Kannada, we say dhyana. To get a peaceful mind. Every day, we do some yogic exercises and meditation. It enriches the concentration, children. Meditation helps us to get the concentration. So it was compulsory there to do it is compulsory for the kids of the ashram to do the asanas and to do the meditation. Later on, before the schoolwork begins, the boys all stand together in the shade of the trees and singing their hymn. Wow! See, again they were reassembling, children. In the morning they are singing the morning prayer. And after doing the yogic exercises and after the completion of meditation, again they are standing in a row all together and they sing the morning hymn or prayer, just like how we do before the school starts in our regular schools. We pray Janaganamana and we pray even our Nadagite, like this. Got it? So, they do this type of prayer. They do this type of prayer after completing their asanas and exercises. Got it, my dear children? Have you understood? Okay. Shall we move on to the next one? Okay. Till about half past 10, the people of the school, till about half past 10, the work of the school goes on. We have no classrooms. The boys sit with their teachers in the open air, under the trees. There are no larger classes. A group of 8 or 10 boys are seated around the teacher, asking him questions. Very few books are used. A greater part is carried on through conversation. The boys soon learn to open out all their difficulties to their teachers, and the teachers get keenly interested in the boys' question and answers. Such living education Such living education can never be dull. Wow. Yes, look at the stanza, look at this paragraph, my dear children. In this paragraph, the education style of the Shantiniketan is described. Look at the style of this education pattern of the Shantiniketan children. It seems quite differ to our regular classes. Do you found any differences, children? Can you identify any differences between the regular classes and the classes of Shantiniketan? Yes, go through the passage and identify the difference between the regular and the Shantiniketan classes. Yes. In our regular classes that we have the classrooms, but whereas in Shantiniketan there were no classrooms at all. Learning was not taking place in the classroom at Shantiniketan, but whereas here the learning is taking place inside the classroom. Where you are learning, children? Where you are learning? Usually that we are learning in the inside the classroom. Now we have got an experience. Now you have got an opportunity to learn in your home. It means that you are learning in the outside by watching these type of videos and that you are also getting these type of learning experiences, children. But in traditional method or in our regular education system nowadays, that we are learning the things in the classroom itself, inside the classroom now. But in Shantiniketan, the children are not learning inside the classroom, they are learning most of the things in the outside the classroom. Are you getting the difference between the regular and the Shantiniketan classes, my dear children? See there. The author used to say there, they have no classrooms and the boys sit with their teachers. Wow! What an experience. They used to sit with the teachers. But here, in our regular class or in our traditional classroom, the boys or the children usually sit in the desk. Teacher stands in front of the board like me. Am I right? Yeah, this is the fact, my dear children. In the traditional classes, teacher usually stands in front of the blackboard and he teaches to the children. There is a gap between, we can see the gap between the teacher and the students. Am I right? And we, sometimes that we used to upright talk to the teacher. Na? Come on, tell me, how many of you have talked to your teacher so friendly, children? A few. And many of us are afraid to talk to our teachers. Am I right? Why? We don't know why we feel so, but usually it's true. But in the Shantiniketan, teachers are sitting with the students and students are sitting with the teacher, that too in an open air and under the trees. What they are doing by sitting with the teacher? They are discussing their problems, they are asking their questions and they are getting the answer from the teacher and their friends. It is just like an open air discussion in the Shantiniketan. Wow, what an experience. What a different style of education is going on there, children. Right. See, there were no classrooms. The people or the students or the children sit with the teachers and they used to sit in the open air or in the under the trees. There were no large classrooms at all. Shantiniketan had not maintained a big classrooms at all, children. And one thing, a group of 8 or 10 boys are seated round the teacher asking him questions. Group of 8 to 10 people, 8 to 10 children are sitting with the teacher and they are talking to the teacher and they are discussing with the teacher and asking him the question and getting their answers like this. An open discussion was going there. In the sense, can't they maintain any textbooks there? There was. Yes, there are textbooks. But a very few books are used. That you might have seen in the traditional classroom and the traditional way of education. The child of the second standard, okay, a student of first standard is carrying a bag which weighs more than the child itself. You might have seen, in your area, the children who go to the school now, they are carrying a heavy baggage, not luggage. It's not luggage. I don't say it's a luggage, it's a baggage. So that type of system was not there in the Shantiniketan children. Shantiniketan maintained its own textbooks, but it was very less. See children, another important thing is described there. A greater part is carried through the conversation. Giving presentation, explanation, giving homework, okay, writing the things more than 1 or 2 times or several times was avoided there. Everything was learned through the conversation. That means in a discussion way. See here children, here the author is describing how different the education system in Shantiniketan, and also it is telling us, it is showing us what difference that we can find in the traditional education system. It is going in a two-way, children, 2 dimension. We have to understand this paragraph in a 2 dimension. That is, how was the education in Shantiniketan and how is the education in our traditional way? What is the difference between these two? Got it? In this way that we have to understand this paragraph. So in Shantiniketan, the children used to learn the things through the conversation. The boys soon learn to open out all their difficulties to their teacher, and the teachers get keenly interested in the boys' question and answers. When there is an open discussion, children, when there is a free and fair environment to learn the things, the learning happens accurately, my dear children. Got it? The proportion of the learning will be more if we have a free and fair learning atmosphere. The same atmosphere was maintained there. Children are free to ask any question to their teachers, and they are also very enthusiastic to share the experiences with the kids or the students. If we maintain this type of learning experiences or learning atmosphere, my dear friends, such type of learning never be failed and it cannot be dull. See, that is what the author is describing, and he is suggesting us to maintain the good atmosphere of learning. Got it? Such type of learning experiences was maintained at the Shantiniketan. Got it, my dear friends? I hope that you understood all these 4 paragraphs in this today's class. They may ask some questions. Who established Shantiniketan? Good. Shantiniketan was established by Rabindranath Tagore. Who is Gurudeva referred in this lesson? It refers to Rabindranath Tagore. Good. And what did he call his Shantiniketan ashram? He called his Shantiniketan ashram as the darling of our art. Who is the author of this lesson? C.F. Handus. Am I right? How was the education different to the present one at Shantiniketan? Or write the difference between the traditional way of education and the present day education and the Shantiniketan and the style of Shantiniketan education. Okay, this is also they may ask you exams by difference. You do one thing, write down the homework, or you work on this question children. Differentiate. Okay, list out the difference between a regular education style and the education style of the Shantiniketan. You bring it tomorrow and I will check it out. Okay, I hope that you have understood this lesson today. Let us continue in the tomorrow's class. Thank you.